Hello and good morning, everyone. We're getting set up here. Waiting for Excal, potentially PDT. PDT said he was down, but I think he might be sleeping still. And Excal is on his way, so yeah, gonna wait for them before we get started. But I hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday morning. Yeah. We got the wheel here. Should have everybody. Should be fun. I think that's 32. Yeah, it's 32. Beauty. Let me get... All right. I should pull up the stream as well. Okay, so for anybody tuning in just now, we're waiting for Excal to get here. He should be here shortly, and then we can get started. And then PDC possibly on the way. But yeah, let me figure out where they're at, and we'll get going. I hope everybody's excited for the DPP Revival Invitational. It's going to be fun as heck. Oh, all right. Get started as soon as Excal joins. I have mentioned, or I have messaged one of PDC's IRL roommates to ask if they can call him, figure out where he is. I had to do this for the ADV Invitational too, for Marco P, because I think Marco P and PDC live together, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, we should get started here in just a little bit. Good morning to Colin and Wild Rumpus. Excal messaged me he was gonna be like 2-3 minutes late anyways, because for a funny reason. So yeah, we can chill for now until they join. I think Excal should be here soon. Oh boy, I love the morning. I love the morning. I'm definitely a morning person. Haha. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Hero. Good to see you. All right, so PDC has been messaged IRL by one of his ex roommates. Pretty funny. But hopefully he will join us shortly, and Excal says he's on his way. So we'll go ahead and get started when Excal joins. Just because I don't want to hold up the stream, but. But yeah, there's a lot of names on this list that I'm pretty excited to see. Just gonna talk about a few people on the list. Obviously BKC, who I did confirm is down to play. So that's pretty hype. Crystal, we haven't seen any of Crystal's DPP recently, except in DPP Cup, I guess. PDC, who's going to be on the stream, hopefully. His classic runs have been insane. Definitely excited to see a lot from him. And then some up-and-comers. My man, No Name. Shout out No Name. Back from his ban. And in main event immediately. So that's pretty awesome. Circuit win. So, personal favorite is... Well, I don't have a personal favorite, but one of my personal favorite players is Void. I got to watch the 9-0 run happen in chats, so was pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, hopefully we can get Excal in here. He said ASAP. I'm assuming that means very soon, hopefully. All right. Any players the chat is looking forward to seeing? Hell yeah, BKC is in. I mean, he does love DPP as a generation. Last Invitational, the first one in 2023, BKC got like second place, I think. I think BKC was in grand finals from winner's side. So he only lost to the eventual winner of that tour, which is Piteous, who did agree to play in the Revival Invitational, by the way. So we have both of the finalists in the pool for this invite. It would be some sick joke if they got paired early. But yeah, it'll be fun to see. BKC ABR in DPP, that would be awesome. That would actually be amazing. All right. Excal is here. He's joining the voice chat, he says. Maybe. Yeah, no, BKC ABR would be an amazing match. I would pay for that as well. Hello, Excal. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about you?
Fantastic. I have no idea where PDC is, but I'm thinking that we just get a move on. And if PDC joins us, PDC joins us.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
All right. So I'm definitely going to be relying on your expert knowledge of all of these gamers. I have some insight, but not a lot, and probably not as much as you do. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, I'm trying to see. Is there any visual I should be seeing, or?
Oh yeah, let me stream to you. Give me one moment.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Screen. Right.
Wonderful.
Making sure that the music is not too loud. Chat, let me know if the music is too loud or anything like that. Let me turn it down on my end, actually. Let's do that, and then we'll turn it up on the capture.
Yeah, I also just nuked stream volume on my end so that any music coming, because I don't have headphones on right now. So
yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
I think we're good to go. So let's get it going. Let's spin the wheel. I love this wheel. It's so cool. It's a great way to start. Oh, we got that's a plans gamer immediately. So we got Mustune. I think I'm saying that correctly. We'll see. And they will be playing. Is that PDC? It's gonna be PDC. Wow. All right.
That's a good matchup.
That is our first matchup. I favor.
Honestly, like,
Go ahead.
no, sorry, you go. I interrupted you. You go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was mentioning it before on the stream, but I really like PDC's gaming recently, especially in like classic and stuff. So that's a tough matchup for Mustane potentially coming from play-ins. But what do you think?
Yeah, I'd favor PDC here, but honestly, in DPP and given this pool, I feel like there's not going to be any matchup that's like super lopsided or anything like that. Um, at least I think, probably nothing more than like a 60-40 kind of gap, but it depends on who the pairing is, and maybe that would be an exception if like PKC is one of the players. But I'd say that this one's like a 55-45 in favor of PDC, but it's close. But the play-ins win, definitely some more momentum coming in. Haven't seen that many of their games. I've taken a look, and their teams seem like pretty decent and pretty consistent. And I think that PDC can sometimes use teams that are a little bit more flashy and might be less consistent, but like if they pay off, they do really well. So I think the PDC will still be a little favorite here.
Absolutely, and PDC is awake. I've just confirmed it. He said he's gonna hop in a moment. So he maybe have some reaction to his first round set, but we're gonna maybe get one more pairing in. Let's see who we got. Looking like Malekith. All right, Malekith will be playing off against. Be crazy if we got the second. Yeah, not too far. Malekith versus SFG.
Oh, that matchup happened. That matchup happened last year, or yeah, the last Invitational. I think in 2023. I think Malekith won it. In 2023, Malekith was in really good form. He made classic finals, and he kind of always has been very good in DPP. Very consistent historically, usually getting like your 5-4, 5-5 SPL on a regular basis. Which is pretty impressive when you look at all the years. I feel like recently we have not really seen Malekith in that form. I think last SPL he lost 2 games and then just never played again, and I think he had a rough SDL before that. So maybe he's got a bit of a temperamental kind of player in terms of how he's doing, but you can never count him out. And I would probably put them even right now because I think SFG's in pretty decent form. But if they're both in top form, I would favor Malekith.
Absolutely. Welcome to the stream, PDC.
Hi guys, how you doing? Sorry, I was a bit late, but I am here now. So I heard I got pulled in one of the first pairings. So
The first pairing is Mustune, I believe, versus you. So
cool, nice.
have any opinion on that matchup?
I believe I commentated that game. I think I did. Yeah, I did. I commentated that versus I think Kim versus Violet River.
Yep.
I mean, like, look, good luck. It should be cool. I think he's pretty. I think he's a newer player, right? I really don't know too much about him, but
he's not newer actually. He's like an old I think he's like an old French player from like 10 years ago or something like that like kind of came back a year or two ago.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, you know what? Maybe he'll bring the Obama Snow French Hail versus me. That could be kind of cool. But yeah, good luck. Good luck. It should be cool. I don't want to say too much because it's just competitive fairness or whatever. But it should be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the second pairing we got was Malekith versus SFG. So you have not missed much.
Nice. So I guess I'll give a quick opinion on that. So both, I mean, SFG is someone who's mostly a DP main. I don't have like too strong opinions on this. The typical line would be Malekith is somebody who is going to be, innovating in the builder to an extent. And SFG also seems like somebody who likes to use some, diverse sets of teams, which again, is like can be said about a lot of people. I would probably initially put somebody like Kith over SFG. Um, but at the same time, like I think they're kind of both on just the same level of building play. SFG, I think, has probably focused a lot more on DP recently, so I'd say it's a relatively even matchup. But I mean, I would probably put, yeah, I'd probably put Kith over just because of experience. The guy has been playing forever. He knows how to handle high pressure situations. SFG, I believe, played in the last SPL, but I would just put Kith over him. I think that's how it would go.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we got those two out of the way. Let's get the next matchup. Just for the viewers in the chat, just to make sure everybody knows, this will not be a bracket. It's going to be random pairings every round based on record, obviously. So the loser's bracket and the winner's bracket once this round concludes. But yeah, not a bracket, random pairings. Here we go for the third matchup. Looking like Void.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Void will be paired off against Christos. I think that's a rematch from this last SPL, right?
Yeah, they were going to tie break too, but then it never got played. And then I think they also played in DPPPL, and I think Christos won. Pretty sure.
Yeah, and the best of 3 slot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other opinions on this matchup?
I think that Void is definitely one of the best DPP players currently. I think he is at his scariest in SPL. I think that in best of 1 situations, he's extremely good at team picking and that stuff like that. I think he's still a very threatening opponent in a best of 3 situation. I think that Christos is very good as well. I think that I would just describe Christos as like very solid and will always just bring like a good meta team that has a good prep angle. And, he just uses the good Pokemon, which is honestly noteworthy because a lot of people just don't do that. I mean, you had me 2 years ago using Cloyster and Hariyama and stuff, but Christos will not bring that kind of stuff. He will just bring no gimmicks. I think that Void is a bit flashier. I don't really know what Void's motivation is like going into this, or how much he's going to be preparing, or how much he's going to be carrying. But if Void is like taking this seriously, I would favor him. But otherwise, I would say it's an even matchup.
A lot of even matchups at the start of here. Pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I would lean pretty heavily on Void here. I think that Excal's right. That Void is at his scariest in SPL. I think that his team choice in a best of 1 is usually really excellent, and when he has especially proper team support, Void does not build much himself, but when he has somebody helping him with it, he's a great player and he has really extensive DP knowledge. I would say probably exceeding that of Christos, and I think that in general he has more tournament experience too. I would put in the best of 3 probably Void over him. He's one of the best DPers, and I think that he has far more experience in the metagame, far more experience in tournaments. And I think that in general he's a more innovative builder, or at least more innovative in team choice than Christos is. So I would put him over it. On the other hand, Christos is also a good player, but I feel like Void's a different tier, or a tier above Christos. But that's, yeah, I would say it's, it's not overwhelmingly on Void's side, but I'd put it like 60-40 in his favor.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the next matchup here. We've got... I gotta make the wheel spin a little bit faster, I think. I'm gonna do that in a minute. But we got Gary Oak versus... Mishimono, it looks like.
nice.
It's a cool matchup. I don't have too many thoughts on it. We haven't seen that much from Garai in DPP, but he showed an interest during the Machamp Suspect. He got Rex pretty comfortably, mainly using Jirachi's Spectran team. And I think I've seen him play in like DPP Cup and stuff, and I just kind of saw him using older teams. So, whereas Mish also is not really a builder and will kind of use stuff passed to him, although I think it is newer stuff. I would probably favor Garai here, just off of his pedigree as a player. But yeah, I think that's just kind of one of those matchups where there's not too much to say, I think, but it's a good matchup.
Yeah.
I would put. Yeah, you can go. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think I think we actually did really well. Not to toot our own horn, but I think we did really well at getting like really top level players to play in this. So, I've even looking at the rest of the lineup, I'm not sure we're gonna have any bad matchups. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting, but yeah, I'm actually excited for this one because I've watched a lot of Mishimono stuff. He joined the beginner league, the Galaxy League, and it was fun watching his games. I think he was using a little bit more off the wall stuff there, so it was pretty interesting to watch. But yeah, what are your thoughts, PDC?
I would put. I think this is a relatively even matchup. I've teamed with Garai in the past a long time ago, and he's made, really seriously incredible progress as a player. I played Mishimono recently in DPPL, and his team choice can be really innovative. I'll say that he used like Hariyama versus me, which I was certainly not expecting. I don't know. I would say it's mostly even. You have two people who I don't think are like necessarily mains in the tier, but are in general knowledgeable about it. So I think a lot of it's really going to come down to what is each player going to decide to bring into this. And I think Gary's going to try to lead. I would say he's probably going to run something more standard. Probably defensive, and Mishimono is probably going to do the exact opposite and bring something that's more, I don't want to say gimmicky, but more innovative to counteract that. So I think really it's going to come down to team choice here.
Absolutely. I'm excited for this match. If we see some off the wall stuff again, that'll be really hype. But yeah, let's see the next pairing. I lowered the time for the spin. Yeah, that's much better. So we got Sakito. And Sakito will be playing off against Crying, looks like. Yep.
Yeah, that one's a cool one. I know Crying did that 10-0 in DPPL. I know it wasn't all Ubers. Sorry, it wasn't all OU, but still very impressive. And Crying's been very active as a player. Sakito has not played in a very long time, but has a ton of DPP experience, has played DPP and SPL multiple times, had a decent run last Invitational, and is probably one of the tier's best builders, even being inactive. So I think that I would favor Sakito, but like not by that much, probably like a 55-45.
Yeah, I'd say the same. I think Sakito just has so much experience behind him. And this is one of those situations where it's like Crying. I have no idea how much they play DPP outside of just like occasional tournaments. Team choice in like new gens from them is insane. I was on their team in SPL, so I can say that affirmatively. But this is like kind of a prime example of, oh, well, Crying is good, but not quite excellent. This is not their main tier. I think Sakito could probably just default, even if he hasn't been that active in the tier lately, to something defensive and just have a leg up immediately. That's how I would imagine it going.
Interesting. Well, I will look forward to that matchup playing out. Let's get our sixth pairing on the board. It's T-Wash T-Wash is going to be playing off against... Oh, Piteous. That's hype. So I'm a huge fan of Piteous's. Piteous, she sent me like all of her teams, because we were on the same team in the beginner league, and obviously she won the last invitational. So definitely a very strong player. So I think T-Wash is as well, though. So that's going to be a really hype matchup, I think.
Yeah, I would say I think that both of these players are kind of at their peak in individual best of three situations. Both of them very interesting builders. Both of them have built some very kind of meta-defining teams, particularly Piteous in their 2023 Invitational run built several teams that kind of became staples and just basically took concepts that already existed and also created some new ones and just kind of really pushed their development forward. I'd favor him over Twash, but it should be a good match.
Yeah, I would put Piteous over Twash just slightly. This is like one of those 55-45 situations. I will say that both incredible players, both really innovative. Piteous is someone who I played recently in DPPL, and I will say that I was really impressed at her level of play. Genuinely, I really thought that she did incredibly well in an individual tournament setting last time, and in the team tournament setting in DPL versus me. Really innovative builds, really great DP knowledge. On the other hand, Twash, I think he's kind of slowed down a little bit over the past few years. He came on, swinging with I don't think, did he win TV Cup? I honestly forget, but this was a few years ago. But this is a case where both players, both in their team building and their play, is really excellent and innovative. I mean, at the very least, this is a matchup where we are going to see some probably really solid playing and really impressive builds. So this is, in my opinion, like a real highlight matchup. Two people who have been playing DP for a long time, especially Twash, who I've known for like 15 years, and who have brought a significant flair to the metagame. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Hell yeah. I am as well. It's the more I think about it, the more I'm excited for that matchup. So, unfortunately, we do have to move on to the 7 matchup, but I'm going to be thinking about that one for a while, especially once the games happen. Oh, I thought we were going to get BKC. We got Deep Blue Sea, though. And Deep Blue Sea will be playing off against Lazuli.
That's a really nice matchup. I think, honestly, out of all of the players on that wheel, I think that these two are probably the most similar to each other in terms of approach, the kind of teams they like to bring, stuff like that. I think Lazuli is very solid, and I think I rate them quite highly in DPP. I think they're very good. I think they probably should have been drafted for SPL last year, but just didn't pan out. I think that DBC would be favored. Just a lot more pedigree in the tier, a lot more experience. But Lazuli definitely has quietly quite a bit of experience in DPP. So, it should be a really good match. I would say this is a 57-43 kind of situation. Not quite 60-40, but not quite 55-45 either.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would almost essentially just agree with Excal. This is a matchup where it's something that I think is roughly even. Again, both players have kind of a signature style. I'm really excited to see Deep Blue Sea play again. That's something I'm really excited to see. He hasn't, to my knowledge, really been active in like the tournament scene of DP lately. and I really want to see what he's going to bring. So, as someone who really was a great builder, and I teamed with him in SPL a couple years back, I'm just glad to see him playing again, and I think it's going to be really nice and cool to see.
Absolutely. Let's get our 8th pairing on the board. That'll be half of the gamers paired off. And we've got circuit winner for 2024, No Name 6293. And No Name will be playing off against Starmaster.
Oh, I like that matchup. I think that they're very similar in the sense that they're very good players. Stars won DPP Cup, No Name has won the circuit. They're not really prolific builders in the tier. They will just use, whatever teams that they have available, pass them. Star might even be using sample teams. Who knows? I would say that I would favor No Name solely off of No Name probably having a little bit more recent experience, and I think that they will use a little bit better and more up-to-date teams. It will depend if Star uses ABR teams or not. If he does use ABR teams, I would put him behind. But we'll see where he gets his builds.
Shots fired.
But I honestly think it'll come down to that. I feel like they're both pretty similar, but let's see what teams they bring.
All right.
Yeah, Star's gonna bring stall. No Name's gonna probably bring offense. Maybe Star will bring Heracross. I don't know. Great to see.
Yeah, I mean we'll find out. I that's pretty funny though. I believe he's in the chat too, so he has already seen his matchup, so I'm sure he's excited for it. Let's get the 9th pairing on the board. Here we go. Pikel. And Pikel is going to be playing off against Skyrio.
Oh, nice. So this is a matchup that happened in France versus the World. And from my memory, it was pretty one-sided in Pikel's favor. I don't have a lot to say about Skyrio. I think they're a very good pilot, but I think that they just kind of use Student of Sinnoh's teams, and that's just kind of how it's gone. Which I think has gone pretty well in some individual tournaments and stuff. Like, they're definitely pretty good, but I think that Pikel is a step up, and I would say this is sort of a 60-40 situation.
Yeah, I would put PKL over Skyrio. I think PKL is just... I think that occasionally he might overcook in the builder. But some of the offenses and the teams that he comes up with, because he will probably use offense, I think are really cool. I played him in DPL, and he's a good player, SPL experience. So I put him over Skyrio. I think more innovative builder, generally more experienced. So yeah, this is a case where, again, I would say like a 65-35 situation here in favor of PKL. I can't wait to see if he brings like Max Attack Fortress. So this should be a fun one to watch for sure. If nothing, it will be entertaining. Big clash of style.
I am looking forward to more Scyther and Omastar gaming from PKEL. But yeah, no, I'm excited for that one. I always like watching PKL play, and Skyrio, I played Roa PL in 2024, and I played against them, and they were really, really good. So yeah, no, excited for that one. Fakes is freaking out in the general chat, saying that only killers remaining, including him. So he doesn't want to be matched up against any of these guys. But let's see what happens. Ty Carter. Ty Carter is going to be playing off against BKC. Ooh.
It's tough.
That's a good matchup. I would say that this is a really rough draw for Ty Carter. I feel like Ty Carter is one of the more promising new DPP talents and builders. And there's certain players who I think would have a pretty good shot against BKC, but I do not think that Ty Carter has the experience to make this favored for him yet. I think that he would have done better against a lot of other people in the pool, but not BKC. I just don't think that this is going to be very favored for him, but I do rate him very highly, and I would not be surprised if he took BKC down. I also think he should have been drafted last SPL, but again, just didn't happen.
Yeah, I would put. Yeah, I mean, this is a case where you have really new talent. Somebody who is, I'm actually going to be playing later today for DP Cup versus someone who has played DP almost since its inception. I think BKC is, experience wise, even if I don't always like the teams he uses, in terms of playing ability, he is. I mean, he's the example of just preeminent, incredible player. So the easy thing is to say I would put BKC over Ty here. But at the same time, you have somebody like Ty Carter, who is in general a solid player, who uses pretty good stuff, and I think is more, I don't want to say current, but someone who's more entrenched in DP at the moment, and who will probably honestly try a lot harder in this matchup, given time constraints from BKC and just general interest. So I think this will be really cool. I also will be looking forward to the BKC commentary on it. Probably like a 2-hour video after, so hopefully he commentates on it. That's something I really want to see. But yeah, this will be cool. No matter what happens, this is something I'm definitely going to be tuning in for.
Absolutely. And if I know Ty Carter, he's probably excited as hell about the chance to get to play BKC. He's always somebody who wants to play better and better players. So I'm gonna assume that he's gonna be incredibly hype about it. He'll probably even do like a live commentary for the channel from his perspective during the game. So that'll be really cool. But yeah, good luck, Ty Carter. Only killers left, according to Fakes. Maybe we'll even see who Fakes is playing up against, but here we go. Okay. Immediately, we get Fakes. Fakes will be playing off against one of these killers. Everybody wanted Excal, but it's not to be. It's Dredre.
So I think Fakes is probably, out of all the invites that we've had, I think he's probably who I'd rank the lowest. I feel like he's kind of lackluster, doesn't really have a lot of experience, just not great at the tier personally. Feel like every time I've played him, it's been very one-sided, and I'm kind of washed. So if I'm dusting this guy very often, it's probably concerning for his overall success in the tournament. That said, Dredre did have a pretty rough SPL. I think that his first tournament, his first SPL, he was really solid, and he had a really good SPL, had an incredibly well-played finals match to help his team win the whole tournament. But he also had a lot of help in the form of August and Anthony, some of the best DPP players to ever play. And then he kind of did SPL a little more solo this year, and then he had a way worse tournament. I would say that he is a very good button clicker, but I think that he, relying on himself and building his own team, still has some work to do to gain some more experience. So unfortunately, I think I'll have to put Fakes over him, but I'm excited for the match.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Excal. I don't know, Fakes is definitely not someone who has a lot of experience in the tier. I mean, this guy's going to bring Jirachi, Celebi, Heatran, something else with T-Wave, and hope that he can get by on Parahacks. That's I think the obvious conclusion here. Okay, but seriously, yeah, it should be all right. I mean, this is going to be a really interesting matchup. Fakes is, I mean, yeah, he's I hate to not rile him up a bit here. It's like riling up the family dog, but he's a great player. He is. He's fantastic. I think Fakes brings. He's really been a solid player lately. And I would also put. I would put Fakes over DG. I think that maybe his, the building isn't always 100% there. I think sometimes the teams he uses, I'm kind of in the tier. But play wise, look, he is someone who's played forever. He's played at every level of the tour ever. And, you know, like, he's a solid player. He has the instinct. So I guess he has the killer instinct. So yeah, I would say Fakes has the advantage here, and I think he's also very motivated. Despite him saying he's always playing on a tractor, I think he's gonna take this seriously.
I think so as well. Worth noting that Fakes did just win the ADV Invitational from winner's side pretty handily. So he's definitely been really locked in, really motivated on stuff. So yeah. Only killers remaining. One of the play-ins players still left. Let's see. I believe this is our 11th pairing. We've got Elodin. And Elodin will be playing off against our other play-ins player, Don Eduardo Carapinga.
This is one of my favorite matchups that we've rolled so far. I really like Elodin and DPP. I think that since last year, he's actually really done quite well in the tier. I like the teams he brings a lot. I think he plays the tier very well. Very kind of quietly, a very great DPP player. And I know he's known more for other gens. And Phoenix is someone who I think is one of the best players on the whole website. He, with not much DPP experience, he kind of just washed everyone in play-ins without too much effort, really. And I find him to just be one of the best button clickers on the website. And I mean, he just had like a 9-win SPL, and that's just not something that many players can kind of claim to themselves. I would say this is dead even, because I think Elodin has more DPP experience and might be better prepared for the types of teams that Kenix is going to bring. But yeah, Kenix is just ridiculously good at the game. So who knows?
Yeah, this will be interesting. I think Kenix is mostly known for GSC prowess, but definitely been putting more of a foot forward in DP as of late. I don't know. I mean, I'd say it's a relatively even matchup. So, or I would say it's a relatively even matchup. Elodin is someone who is more experienced in the tier and also a genuine and general great tournament player. And kind of the same goes for Kenix. I think maybe it leans a little bit on Elodin's side. But, you know, this is a matchup where it's more or less not really two people who main the tier, but two people who play the tier and who are solid in their fundamental skills in Pokemon in general. So we'll see how that goes. I imagine that we'll probably see teams that are airing more on the standard side, but generally solid stuff like, you know, Big Six, Jirachi, Starmie, Zap. So we'll see. It should be interesting. Kenix might use some gimmicky stuff. I have a feeling that he has more expansive palette in terms of what he will use.
Absolutely. That's a match that I'm going to be super excited for. But yeah, we have 8 incredibly strong players left. So some people are going to be in the losers bracket that by all rights might even, you know, be contenders to win the tour. So let's get these last 4 matchups on the board. Excal, you're up.
Nice.
And you'll be playing off against... looking like Laurel.
I've never played Laurel before, I don't think. I literally do not think I've ever played Laurel in a game of Pokemon. Pretty interesting.
That's kind of hype. First time playing, even though you're both very strong players of the tier. Laurel was in this most recent SPL, right?
Yeah, he's been in the past couple SPLs. He always does pretty decently. I think he had a rough start to this past SPL. I think he was like 1-4, and then he just kind of won out the rest of his games, and I think he kind of finished neutral or 3-4, one of the two. He's never had like an SPL that was like, oh my god, he did super well, but he never had an SPL where I was like, okay, this guy did really badly. He always finds a way to get his wins.
Gotcha. Do you have any? I know you can't give away too much because you're going to be playing, but you have any insight on the matchup? Anything you're thinking about that you can disclose?
Honestly, like, I'm kind of washed, so it's a good opportunity for Laurel to score one on me. I mean, I haven't played a DPP tournament probably since last Invitational 2 years ago. I don't think I've played a single DPP game in tournament since. I mean, maybe, I don't remember if that came first before Classic or not. It might have been before Classic. So, it's been a while. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for Laurel to smack you around with a Bomb of Snow Fortress. I think that's in the card. No lie. I mean, look, I would say there's like a 90% chance that Laurel's gonna use some just really goofy stuff against you. Honestly, I think that's where Laurel finds himself building very often. Using very just unorthodox Pokemon and team structures. In SPL, when I teamed with him, certainly that was what he was doing every week. So I don't know, if someone who, on your hand, you are like, the preeminent TV player. And then there's Laurel's been playing tier for a long time, done well in SPL, done well recently, and kind of just throws stuff at the wall. So I don't know, this could be a really interesting matchup. I think that play here is going to be at issue, but also team choice. I don't know exactly what you're going to bring, but Laurel is probably going to come out with some, absolutely ridiculous team or team choices, and it should be fun to watch. Hopefully we can get a nice post-facto commentary on this channel for it. That's a game I would really like to analyze from a team choice perspective. So it should be cool. Fakes is encouraging me to trash talk you, which I will refrain from doing in earnest, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, if Laurel beats you, that could be a big upset. What does that say?
Dude, I'll have to block Fakes. I'll have to block him.
Yeah, you're gonna have.
He's already in my PMs. He just called me a coward.
Yeah.
He said, I know you've beaten me in the past 20 sets we played, but you're an absolute coward for what you said, and I don't appreciate it. He's kind of spouting off right now. He doesn't like losing very much, and unfortunately, when he plays me, that's usually what happens. So he's
gonna hit you. He's gonna run you over with his tractor, dude. He's gonna take that thing across the Atlantic.
Dude, he's a threatening player when he's on his tractor, dude. He did beat me in a set, and he told me that he was on his tractor when he won. So, I usually like to play him when he's not on the tractor. But that other reason would definitely, dissuade me from wanting to. Yeah, he's a menace. He really is, and he keeps shit talking in PMs right now.
I played him on the black-white ladder, and I DM'd him immediately after. I honestly, I think I won or something. I was using like sub DDD night, and immediately after, I'm like, "Yo, you suck! I just destroyed you." He sent me a picture of him on his tractor. Like, there's no way. I'm like, I actually you play like a 100-turn black-white game or some DDD night on a tractor. So okay,
dude,
somehow
we cabin, dude. He told me that that when I beat him like a day or two ago, he was like, it wasn't me that lost, it was the team. And I was like, what does that mean?
The Pokemon let him down, dude. It's like the anime.
Yeah, literally. They didn't obey his command or something. I don't know what he was saying, dude. Anyway, Dredri will give him the hands in a week. That'll be pretty amusing. But yeah.
Yeah, shout out Fakes. We love you, even though you're, definitely have lost a million times to Excal in every way possible. Oh God, he's pinging you in the chat.
Yeah,
oh boy.
I mean, Excal, if Excal loses, he can just say, "I haven't played him forever." He can say he can go on the old reliable defense. Guys, I'm retired. Don't blame me for losing.
Oh,
yeah, dude, I've already called myself washed. I've already preempted it.
Yeah, dude, he's already putting the defenses out there. He's already putting the walls up. He's got every excuse, every John in the book already out there. He's washed. He doesn't have time for this tournament. He's only playing for fun. That's like the absolute classic trifecta of, if I lose, I have all the excuses in the world.
He's calling me a coward for calling myself washed. Dude, I haven't played DPP tournament in like 2 years. What do you expect?
That's funny. Did you guys both know that in the middle of a set in ADV invite, his tractor fell into a ditch and he had to delay the final game?
What?
His tractor like went into a ditch. His dad drove it into a ditch or something. So he was like, "Hey man, can we delay the rest of the set until I get back from my pulling my tractor out of the ditch?"
He's also he's been pretty mad about losing recently to me. He's been sending me voice memos, telling me how
Oh,
bad I am at Pokemon and how he's so much better than me. It's very interesting.
I think
I think I heard a tractor in the background in one of the memos.
I think if Fakes loses to Dredre for some extra stakes, the voice memo should be released.
Oh, I'm down. I'd also put a couple dollars on Drew. I don't mind losing $10.
There we go.
To,
All right,
to
I'll take you up on that action. I got 10 on Fakes. You got 10 on Dredre.
oh, well, yeah. You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, there we go. That's
I'll do that.
amazing.
I'd love to make money off Fakes losing. That would be very satisfying.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
dude, you should bet like 30% of his crop. That's what you should do.
oh my god, that would be insane. He wouldn't take that. Talk about coward move. I don't think he would bid his crops. They mean more to him than anything. But let's get these last three pairings on the board. Only killers left, and that's for sure for real. I would not want to play any of these 6 in a tournament game. Here we go. Crystal. Crystal will be playing off against Gilbert Arenas, also known as Marco P. I believe, isn't Marco P in the background? I thought I heard him earlier.
No, he's not. He's not in the house right now.
All right.
I don't know where he's at, but he left already. So
This is a rematch from a bunch of different tournaments. I know they most recently, I believe, played in the ADV invite with, I believe, Gilbert Arenas winning. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I know that they've played recently in Tour.
yeah, I watched that game live, and it was a spectacle to behold. This is a really interesting matchup. You have two people who, Margo on one hand is not a DP main, but he's won DP Cup in the past. He's a general great player. He has my support. And you have Crystal, who I'm also friendly with, who's like one of the new age DP players. Been very impressed with her over the past few years. Great builder, solid player. This is, in my opinion, this is a really highlight matchup. You have two people who are just in general really great players, and on Crystal's behalf, especially a really great builder, and takes the tier very seriously. So this should be a really good matchup to see. I know that Marco is not like especially mained DPP as of late, but I know that he is very excited to play in this tournament. So this should be cool.
Yeah, I feel like, I rate Marco's button clicking pretty highly. I do think that in recent time, his button clicking has been a little more chaotic than usual. Like the Marco that I watched as I was coming up as a player was a guy who just like made mad dog plays, was very, very consistent, and he won DPP Cup and he's accomplished a lot as a player. In recent time, I feel like he has been clicking at speed of the speed of light, and he makes some really, really great reads. But I just depends what his headspace is like. I do think that Crystal would be pretty advantaged. I feel like this is the kind of matchup where Crystal will just bring the better teams with her metagame knowledge, will know what Marco is using. She'll be able to kind of read his team from preview or well before the last couple Pokemon are revealed. I just feel like this is it's not that Marco is a worse player or anything like that. It's more like that in this specific situation, I feel like Crystal's skill set will lend very well to kind of dismantling Marco in a best of 3 situation. So I would definitely favor her, although I do think she's been a little tilted recently with DPP. So we'll see how that pans out. But if she's in a good headspace, I would favor her quite comfortably, 60-40 kind of vibes.
Gotcha. All right. Well, only French gamers left, it looks like. We're guaranteed at least one French matchup, I think. I believe Emerald's French, but I can't remember. But I want to see Ladon versus Student of Sinnoh. Let's see if it happens. That's one. Give me Ladon. No! Alright, Student of Sinnoh versus Martial Law.
Yeah, I think that Student of Sinnoh is a very strong competitor. I feel that he is a very smart DPP and Pokemon mind. I mean, we've only seen him play DPP, but he's got a very strong approach and understanding of the tier off of sheer ladder grinding and try-harding. And I just find him to be one of the best DPP competitors. I mean, in the SPL setting, in a best-of-3 setting, I mean, he's just very strong. And I think that Marshall is an interesting foil to him because Marshall, it's kind of hard to determine. I feel like he's just kind of in it for fun. I mean, he's done his time. He's won Smogon Tour. He's played a ton of DPP tournaments. Probably a lot of grinding. I don't know how much he ladders, but it depends what Marshall brings. I mean, he is the biggest wild card for like what teams he'll bring. Like you mentioned Laurel, but even this is even more wild. Like he brought like a yellow team to like seasonal finals or something like that. Like this dude, I don't really have a strong understanding of how his mind works, but what I do know is that Marshall, when he is on his game, has an extremely high ceiling, and sometimes his ideas hit very hard and are very good. But I feel like he's not that consistent solely because being at that ceiling constantly would mean he's like one of the best, if not the best DPP player on this website. So I just don't really know where his headspace is at. I would favor Student of Sinnoh here in a 60-40 odds, but Marshall is very, very good when he's on his game.
All right. Well, we know the last pairing as well. It's going to be Ladon versus Emerald. No need to spin the wheel there. So, Ladon is in the chat. Very sad that he was not paired with Student of Sinnoh, though. So,
love Ladon, but Student of Sinnoh would have washed him. Sorry, not sorry. I would say that this is a really cool matchup. These are two players who have beaten my ass in DPP tournaments. Emerald is someone who I've had quite a bit of history with because they kind of came back at a similar time where I was kind of, trying to make my mark as a player. I played him in several tournaments. Emerald defeated me in SPL finals. The one SPL I played with a very good build. It was a very interesting match. And I feel like these two players are both the type that, in terms of me as a player, I felt like they both have a very good sense of how I approach the game, and in knowing that, they have been able to, do very well against me, like from my personal experience when they've played me in tournament. And the way this would translate to this matchup is I bet that they also know each other super well and, can probably tap that. I really like Emerald's team building. I think Emerald really, I don't think he plays very much anymore, but when he does play, I just find his teaming building to be very strong. I think Ladon's team building is also quite good. I'm not sure how it has evolved throughout the course of the year because he's been banned. Should have been Fakes banned, but anyway, I think that this is I think that I would favor. Actually, I think this is just dead even. I can't favor either of these guys. Ladon's probably got a little more recent experience, but I think at the end of the day, for Team France, when France versus the World, Emerald was selected to be a tiebreak player. I think that both of them have similar pedigree in the tier. I think Ladon has done a little bit better in like team tournaments, but Emerald has a lot more individual tournament presence. So yeah, this is a coin toss.
Yeah, Emerald is someone who's been one of my favorite DP builders for a while. Whenever he's actively building, like I love your teams. I think that he has a really good mind for a specific type of team. A few years ago, I think he made that like Infernape Quagsire team, which I spammed for like a year. He's someone who I think is a really good handling on the tier's building. I don't know too much about him as a player, but I'm just gonna assume that he's solid. But I'm really excited to see what Emerald's going to bring. He's innovative without being kind of gimmicky or ridiculous, constrained, and he's somebody who is in the past brought really impressive stuff. On the other hand, Ladon, I don't really know too much about Ladon. I know that he before his ban he was SPL caliber player. Mostly, I think of him as like kind of more of a balanced, standard Big Six is adjacent player. But he's I mean, look, he's good. And although I would as a personal favorite, I would put Emerald slightly above him. I think that this is a pretty much even matchup, 50-50. So this is just like two solid players going at each other, and I am excited to see it happen. That's going to be a really good. I want to see especially what they both bring.
Absolutely. One thing I will say is Emerald played the beginner league. I know that the beginner league is not necessarily the epitome of gaming, but he did beat Janik twice. He beat Piteous twice. He beat Lazuli. He beat Eden, and he beat someone else. Lazuli, Eden, somebody else. I can't remember who. But he went 8-0 in that tour, pretty dominantly. All of the games were really fire to watch. So, and that was somewhat recently. So I think that I would favor Emerald, but I'm looking forward to Ladon playing. I'm also definitely saying this to get a rise out of Ladon, so don't worry about it. But yeah, that is the round one pairings.
I was going to say one last thing actually about that matchup that I just thought of is that I think that Ladon likes DPP more than Emerald does. Like, I don't know how much Emerald actually likes the tier. So that's worth mentioning. I know Emerald's had some very valid grievances with DPP, whether it be the tiering or like the Pokemon and whatnot. But Ladon is like a DPP enthusiast. Like, I think that Ladon loves the tier. So DPP lover versus DPP hater kind of vibes. Just figured I'd throw that in there.
Absolutely. Well, that is the week one pairings. I'll get that posted up on the server, and maybe we'll even see it right fucking now, but who knows. Thank you, PDC and Excal, for joining me and providing your insight on all the competitors. I hope that you guys get to catch some of the games live and enjoy watching them.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is going to be a great tournament, guys. Really excited to see it.
Yep. Reminder to subscribe to the channel if you aren't. We are going to be posting videos of pretty much every set, so it'll be a fun time. Thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you next time.